What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of HBO's new limited series, We Own This City. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. Okay, the minute I heard that this miniseries was developed by the same guys who gave us HBO's masterpiece, The Wire, I was like, I'm in! Where can I watch this already? Send me the screeners. You see, to me, The Wire remains as one of the greatest shows in the history of television. It was a gritty, unflinching, and somewhat realistic depiction of an American city riddled with crime that's mostly affected by the war on drugs. The reason I'm telling you this is that if you are not used to The Wire style of storytelling, then odds are you are not gonna like We Own This City. Because We Own This City is kind of like The Wire 2.0 without it being necessarily a sequel or a follow-up. The writers-producers basically take the true story of what happened with the Baltimore police corruption and build that depiction around the same socio-economic and socio-political atmospheres of The Wire. And just like The Wire, We Own This City is also a slow burn. It's dialogue driven, so if you don't have the patience for it, then move along and go watch other shows. Developed by George Pelecanos and David Simon and directed by Reynaldo Marcus Green and executive produced by Reynaldo Marcus Green, Ed Burns, and David Simon, We Own This City chronicles the rise and fall of the Baltimore Police Department's gun trace task force and the corruption and morale collapse that befell an American city in which the policies of drug prohibition and mass arrests were championed at the expense of actual police work. Starring Jon Bernthal, Jamie Hector, and Josh Charles. There are a total of 6 episodes, each runs about an hour long, and I admit the story's non-linear progression, where it often jumps back and forth, can be overwhelming or difficult to keep up with, but the reason for that format is because while yes, the lead star Jon Bernthal gets most of the screen time, but a chunk of each episode also focuses on the other members of the gun trace task force. And so sometimes it's the other guys who end up in the interrogation room and start spilling their confession. It's so good to see some of the actors from The Wire on this show. Obviously they're playing different roles here, but damn, it makes you wonder where they've been all this time. Now, I think the differences between the cops on The Wire and the cops on We Own This City is that the cops on The Wire, while they are not saints and they don't necessarily have heroic qualities, but they do want to catch the bad guys. Whereas the cops on We Own This City, or at least the Gun Trace Task Force, are the bad guys. In another universe, they could have been part of Vic Mackey's team on The Shield, if you know what I'm saying. Many of the episodes are directed by Reynaldo Marcus Green, who gave us King Richard. Him working with The Wire creative talents on this project proves to be a wise decision because it's a winning combination of Reynaldo's attention to characters and what makes them tick, with Ed Burns and David Simon's attention to the institutions and the systems that drive and mold and change said characters. But the casting of Jon Bernthal in the role of Officer Wayne Jenkins is kinda weird, man. It's a little weird. Well, for one, Jon's haircut on this show looks comical. I mean, it's not as jarring as Tom Hanks' Robert Langdon hair in the Da Vinci Code, but still, it stands out. And don't get me wrong, Jon Bernthal is a fantastic actor, no doubt. But by this point, it's clear that it's really hard for him to shed that Frank Castle Punisher persona, which he unfortunately and inadvertently carries over onto this show. But all that aside, I still bloody enjoy We Own This City. Its core strength lies in its tantalizing conversations. It's in knowing how the politics are played, how the palms are greased, and how police culture is passed down from one rookie to the next and on to the next and on to the next. And the themes are obviously very timely now that we live in a post-George Floyd era. The underlining, examining question is, where did it all go wrong? And that is what makes this show incredibly compelling.